Welcome back, ghosts, to Bullet Catcher Gaming. Now, we've been doing some videos recently all about what you want to see in the next game. This is another one of those. It's going to be all about gear. How do we think we can best utilize the gear that your character has in the next game? Now, the previous videos that we've done covering gunsmith, stuff like that, we're going to be doing feedback videos of your comments and hopefully then putting together the absolute ideal scenario of what, like gunsmith, weapons, things like that, the weapon wheel we did, what those things should look like going forward. They'll be coming soon. So this is the next one in the series. And like I said, this is about gear. And the follow-up to this one is going to be all about the camos in the game. So I've got two special guests. Sandy is with me and Iron Mike. Iron Mike, a veteran of the US Army, and Sandy, a current serving member of the British Army. Going to be sharing a few pictures of Sandy's gear later on in the video, so watch out for those. So let's get into this. What kind of gear and how should we utilize the gear in the game going forward? So I think, first of all, I'm going to start with, we only get 5 options of your character in Breakpoint. I think Wildlands was 7, I believe. I think we should go back to have more of those, and they should be able to be implemented faster at the click of a quick button on your controller or on your mouse, whatever it is you're using, keyboard, just so you can instantly swap without having to keep going into menus and things. And I think we need at least 10. So you got 10, you can have 10 completely separate loadouts. Customization of the plate carrier. I think when it comes down to it, we should be able to have plate carrier with chest rigging, all that kind of stuff. And it needs to have things that can go on separately, like a certain number, for example, that you could choose. How many that would be, I don't know. It could be dependent. But on those things, you should be able to put, med pouches, mags, grenades, canteen, if the game's going to utilize, survival mechanics and stuff, tourniquets, all that kind of stuff that you would have on there. A limited number that you can put on, so if you want more of one thing and less of another, you can. And exactly the same system for the backpack. So whatever was in your backpack, you could have a smaller backpack, might have 4 items allowed, larger one, maybe 6 items allowed. And in there, you would put things like your night vision goggles, because they should really be separate. They shouldn't always be on your head. Binoculars, explosives, your drone, specialist equipment. So if you were carrying a relatively small backpack, it would only be 4. So within that 4, you could choose to have all explosives and then carry extra kind of, ammo on your pack. So you're fully just get all out assault, if you know what I mean. Or you could have someone else who's carrying more medical equipment. So really utilize how you go out into the field. I think that is huge going forward. Any gear should be able to be any color, whether it's backpacks, chest rigging, whatever it is, boots, everything. Any gear, any colour, no restrictions. Any skin that can be used, so like if they bring in other characters from other games again, Splinter Cell, Rainbow Six, blah, 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 you should be able to use the head, torso and legs of those characters and put them on yours. So if you wanted Nox's head to go onto your character, and you should be able to just use the head part and add it onto yours. I think that's important, so you can break those things down. I think that's a good one. So gas masks and face masks should be able to be used with any helmet, any hood, interchangeable, more like Wildlands, not like Breakpoint, because that got it wrong. I think, we all wanted that, and the fact that they only allowed certain ones. No, if you release a skull mask, you should be able to wear the skull mask with a hood, whatever, any hat, it shouldn't matter. You should be able to pick and choose what you want. I think the scarf needs to be a separate item from now on. Frustrates me sometimes that you try and have your character covered head to toe and you can't because of the shirt that you've worn. So you want a scarf, but the scarves are incorporated with face items, and so you only get a scarf with a specific face item. It shouldn't be. They should be separate. So if you want a skull mask and and a hood, you should then be able to also have a scarf if you want to hanging out of that. I don't see what the issue is. They need to be separate items. Pistol holster location, you should be able to move that around. You should be able to have it wherever you want it, different locations on the chest and on the leg, whatever it is you want. Don't just have a leg holster, 'cause it's not realistic that you would only ever have it on your leg. So, and be able to swap legs too, things like that. So let's do that. No more irrelevant cosmetics. I don't want to see punk rocker boots. I don't want to see flat caps. I don't want to see tweed shirts, personally. I think put only military stuff in there, Spec Ops gear. And then if you want to then put those other types of things, the shirts, the punk rocker stuff, put them in as little DLC packs for people to buy civilian clothes and things like that. I mean, you want some civilian clothes, jeans and certain shirts, but I don't want over-the-top items. It's supposed to be a tactical military game. Let's not have them ahead of real military gear. Let's get real military gear in there. Movement speed regarding how much gear you carry. I think this is another important one. You could have a different argument for weapons. Obviously, if you're carrying an LMG, it should be heavier than carrying like a submachine gun. But I think the same for gear. So if you take a backpack with you and you decide to put nothing in it, you should be able to possibly move faster, very slightly faster than if you had it full with your drone and everything like that. And also if you haven't decided not to put anything on your vest as well. So I think that's a really interesting one. So adding more features to your character loadout would be really good, like breaching packs, mine detection equipment, drop leg pouches as well, so you can carry even more ammo. Because I think what you should be able to do with regards to the ammo, if you've only got, say, 3 clips on your chest and maybe you've got 2 in your leg drop pouches, that's all the ammo you've got. I don't think you should, and the rest you've got to pick up or go to bivouacs or whatever system they use in the new game. I think outside of that, you shouldn't just have like 100, effectively about 20 magazines worth. And where are all these 20 magazines? I know I don't think you should be able to, or you should be able to maybe fill your backpack with them or something like that, but they should be limited, and whatever it is you take should be represented on your character. Customization of your helmet would be good. AR lights, camo foliage that you could put, to fit in with your surroundings, and ballistic goggles on your helmet, because that is realistic. They should be on there. And personally, I would like to see you be able to put patches wherever you want on your character, and maybe create a patch creator, because I think that would be good for if there's PvP in the game or for milsims and all the rest of it. It would just be fun. So there you go. So we've got our 2 kind of army vets here. So let's see what they think of these things. What do you guys think?
I'll let Mike go first.
I think all the ideas that we came up with so far is going to be great improvements if they listen to it and then apply it. Giving this is something that Tom Clancy had figured out years ago on the earlier games, that as much customization ability you're giving to the customer, the more enthused that they're going to be into the game. And now it's being customized to them instead of them customizing the person to the game, if you get what I'm saying. It's giving us the freedom.
I agree. What do you think, Sandy?
So I'll talk 2 points on what we covered there: the movement speed and the choosing your pouches, as obviously we spoke about before. So let's say that every pouch has a plus and negative. So if you add an ammo pouch, it'll give you 30 extra rounds, but it will have a 2% reduction in movement speed with it being cumulative. So if you add 10 ammo pouches, you've reduced your movement speed by 20%. That also can be added to the backpack, and it can be added to weapons specifically. So if you select an LMG, that's a much heavier weapon, so that might already give you a 20% movement decrease. Whereas if you're running just a pistol, it might only be a 5% decrease. So everything that you do regarding your kit and weapon is all about how fast you can move in the game.
No, that makes perfect sense. And a lot of people, there may be some people out there who might think that, you know, with all these ideas of being able to put pouches, grenades, all that kind of stuff, I do get it. Some people might think, is that not giving them too much to do? And there's been some comments with people saying, should we be looking at these kind of things when some of the missions are so boring? I think it's a really good point in a way. But I do think a lot of the people that play this game, especially a lot of hardcore players, milsim players, stuff like that, and obviously we don't want to forget about casual players because they're just as important. More people that buy the game, the more likely they are going to keep making things for it and improve the game. So it needs to be inclusive to everyone. But I do believe that it's not a particularly hard system for them to do. I mean, we might be overthinking it. It could be simplified, I'm sure. That's why we want the feedback from the community. How could we do this and make it simple? So it's still effective and the player feels like they have options, but it's a bit more simple. Was you going to say something, Mike?
And here's the thing too, with Sandy saying about the movement speed and the number of pouches and everything, right? You have other three members in that team. They also are able to carry a freaking assault pack. They're also able to carry certain items. You can split that load for the mission, whatever that mission you're going to be undertaking, and freaking to help out that LMG to get his freaking ammo that he's going to need to sustain him. And that's what we do in real life. And I'm pretty sure Sandy can agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, many of times we went outside the wire, we had to split up the load to undertake whatever mission that we're going to be on.
Yeah.
I mean, I've carried AT4s. Was I AT4 gunner? No, I wasn't. But I had to carry it for my battle buddy. And therefore, again, it goes to the milsim and the hardcore players and the casual players, how they want to play the game. And it gives them more freedom to do what they need to do. Now, if you're being a casual player and you're playing solo, that means now you're able to customize your freaking AI teammates accordingly. You know what I mean? So if you're carrying an LMG and you don't have enough room to carry all the ammo that you need, now you can put it onto your freaking AI teammates. And you get that ammo from your AI teammates, or the AI teammate comes to you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I think
makes it more interesting.
It's such an interesting idea. I think that is, and it will create so much more intricate teamwork as well. If one person's loaded up with more medical supplies, the others haven't got so much, but one might have more ammo. I think it will really make teamwork so much more interesting.
Yeah.
But thank you both for jumping on.
Can I add one more thing, Andy?
Yeah, go for it.
So one thing that we didn't touch about, but we have talked about is, and this is to everybody listening, what kit manufacturers, what type of, people like London Bridge Trading, Cry, what type of stuff isn't in Breakpoint or Wildlands that you would like to see in the next game?
That's a huge point. We were actually supposed to bring that up at the very beginning, and I missed it. So nice job. Yeah, we want to see that. It was on one of our surveys. Maybe when we do the feedback video for this one, we will go into more detail on that. But yeah, let us know if there's a specific company, specific type of gear that you want to see. Put it in the comments. We can discuss on that feedback video. We want to get the best game possible out of Ubisoft regards to the next Ghost Recon. And these type of videos and the feedback you supply are what could possibly make that happen. And if we don't try, we'll never know. So I do appreciate everyone's comments so far on the previous videos. Look forward to reading these ones. And from the three of us, thank you so much. And we will see you again on the next one. Bye-bye.
Super 5.